Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So a while back, I had done a video talking about the great toilet paper shortage that occurred back in the 70s. And the problem with it is that Johnny Carson had made a joke on his TV show about how there was a toilet paper shortage, and everybody ran out and bought up all the toilet paper out of the stores. And every time the store got resupplied, people ran out there and bought it all up. There was never a shortage of toilet paper. It's just that everybody had it stored in their house. Here's the thing, the black market price of toilet paper went through the roof and people were paying an extreme amount for just a single roll of toilet paper. Something very similar occurred a few years ago with 22 rounds. Now 22 rounds is probably the most common ammunition that exists in the entire world. A box of 500 rounds costs generally around $20, $25 or so. They were selling for $80 a piece. And now I had a few of those boxes, and if I was smart, I would have sold them at $80 a piece and then repurchased them again when the prices came back down. But every time that the stores would get supplied, people ran out there and bought up all the 22 rounds. Something very similar is occurring right now. N95 masks, right? These dust masks. Nothing special about them. They're very typical. You can buy them just about anywhere. There is a shortage happening of these masks, right? Over at the warehouse, I saw that there was over 2,000 of these boxes available, and today there is none. That was just over the course of the weekend. Now, they do plan on getting a new shipment in next week, but we don't know how much is going to be coming in, and we don't know how much is going to be allocated, meaning that how many boxes that we'll be able to purchase for ourselves. So I went and bought this box just to have them on hand, and now I don't really anticipate needing them to protect myself from the virus, although I do have them in case it gets really bad, and they are there. You have to handle these things in a particular fashion to make sure that you don't get yourself exposed to the virus after you have been out in public. So removing the masks and wearing the masks, that takes, you have to be kind of careful about those things. My reasoning for buying these things is that once people start freaking out and these things are not available, I'm going to be able to sell these things for a pretty penny. Anyhow, thought that was a pretty interesting little event that's taking place right now with this virus. The other thing is happening is that here at the hardware store, nails, a lot of nails that we sell to the builders come from China, the generic forms, right? There are American-made nails, but generally the Chinese-made ones are the ones that most of the contractors buy because they're cheaper. And that is starting to be disrupted, meaning that shipments coming from China are not exactly on the ball, okay? They're not coming in at a consistent time. And so we ended up buying quite a few pallets of nails in order to make sure that we have a supply of them so that, because if you can't sell nails, you can't put a house together. So we have a nice big shipment of nails coming in. But we're not the only ones who are stocking up on these. We had a few builders actually purchase pallets of nails from us because of this supply chain issue. They can't afford to run out of nails. They have to have them in order to build their houses, and they do not want to have any disruption in their supply of fasteners in order to put houses together. So the supply chain is starting to get really disrupted from this virus, and especially when it comes to things like this N95 masks, these are going to be clearing off the shelf once people start to panic and realize that they're not available. So this box, each one of these masks is probably $2.50. I have no idea. I'll probably be able to sell them for $25 a piece once the supply shortage is really kicking in and people can't find them and they're freaking out thinking that these things are going to be the thing that protects them from the virus. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to get the virus, you're going to get it. But these things can help. However, you have to handle them. You have to be able to, wear them fitting tight so that you don't have any kind of side, exposure coming in from around the mask. And then when you're taking them on and off, you also have to be wary that, you don't actually expose yourself to any virus that may have landed on the outside of the masks. So if you are exposed to this virus, just wearing the mask isn't enough to protect you. You have to be wary of what's going on there. Now, I'm no professional on viruses and how to protect yourself from them. I just know that people have been buying these things up like crazy, and I went and got myself a few of them just because I feel that I'll be able to sell them into the future for a higher price once the shelves are just completely cleared out and there's no supply coming back in to fill the stock. Anyway, thought it was a little interesting note there. Uneducated economist, you guys let me know.